The immortal John Hancock here, and today I'm talking about a new cable to play your PS1 and PS2 games via HDMI cable. And this is by Pound Technologies. And what I thought I'd do today is showcase, this is an easy plug and play cable in the back of your PS2 or PS1 system. It does require additional power, so with the USB, micro USB cable it comes with, that needs to be plugged in. And thought I'd showcase the differences between standard composite cable versus the HDMI cable that this offers. Let's take a look. Alright, this is the HD Link cable for the PlayStation 2, and I'm testing it with my original PS2 Slim. This is a day one model. I am the original owner and I've had this in my collection a long time. So what the HD Link cable comes with is it comes with a simple instruction sheet. It is important to note that when you open it up inside, it does warn that when you first turn on your console, you're going to get a green screen possibly, and it shows instructions on how to fix that. It's nice that it comes with this to warn you about that. And so please read the instruction sheet and it'll walk you through how to do it. It also comes they're still using the Ziploc bag. I think that's pretty funny. Ziploc bag includes an HDMI cable. And here's the other part of it. I like their logo too. Does that remind you of another logo? And this is a micro USB cable. Again, it needs to be powered. And you can use the PS2 USB inputs to power it. If not, then you have to use external power plug. Let's check it out. Alright, PS2 Classic Soul Calibur 2. I thought this would be a great game to compare composite versus the new PS2 Link cable. I like playing the different versions of this game. Still fun to play. So we'll go ahead and show this. Mitsurugi is always fun to play, so we'll go ahead and play him. And this is great. We'll show the differences. So, you know, if you have a classic CRT, this is not a bad way to play PS2 games. But, you know, if you have a modern TV, which, you know, they haven't made CRTs in a long time, and most people have their classic game consoles hooked up to a CRT, and on a CRT the PS2 looks pretty awesome. And let's see how we can show kind of some of the same characters. Mitsurugi, we'll go ahead and try this. Looks pretty good. This is definitely, you know, this is one game where I think the screen being stretched out isn't a deal breaker. For some, it's gonna bother them. This is a game for me. It doesn't really matter as much.
Hungry.
Yeah, show another level.
An evil don't.
One thing about PS2 collecting is there's so many classic games, and you can get a lot of the games pretty cheap. And so this cable is a nice way of playing on original hardware, and using that original hardware, still being able to play on a modern TV. So it's pretty cool. This is an affordable option for people that want to play their PS2 games. I have not played this classic in a long time. So neat to fire this up. It's been years since I've actually played Twisted Metal 2. And this is a great car combat game. I think I remember really liking playing Thumper. So we'll go ahead and play this. I have not played this in so long. I remember the codes, yeah. That. Oh no! That's right, you can all sorts of tricks and special abilities and Thumper's special was pretty awesome. Alright, here we go. One thing it's important to note is that it's a little bit darker with PS2 games. It seems a little bit brighter with PS1 games, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was made specifically for PS1 games, but PS1 games definitely look better. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose Thumper and go ahead and play this. The stretched out screen is a little bothersome. I wish, I don't know, that bothers me. I know some TVs you can probably adjust it manually. On this particular TV that I have, it's not an option. And so, but yeah, that does bother me a little bit. On some games, it's going to bother you some more than others. Now, it would be nice to play it in original aspect ratio. My other TV, I could change it, but it does look great. I mean, it looks good. If you have just a PS2 and $30 and you want to play on this is a nice option to have. So it's fun. It's fun playing a game that to me was such a large portion of my PlayStation gaming back in the day. So, you know, firing this up, you know, I definitely want to go revisit this. All right, this is another classic on the PS2. This is another classic on the PS2 that I think needs to be shown. Another game I haven't played in a while. You know, it's great. It's one thing great about some of these products for classic consoles is that you can relive and enjoy and appreciate some older games that maybe you haven't played because of this exact reason. You know, my PS2 has kind of collected dust, and I play more probably PS1 games than PS2, but gosh, you know, honestly, there's a lot of PS2 games that are worth revisiting, and this is definitely one of them. So Maximo, kind of the spiritual successor to Ghosts and Goblins, and so I really enjoy and appreciate checking this out again. Now this is just composite. This is the way that I played this game back in the day. Graphics still look pretty decent, ironically. But I bet you this is going to look a lot better with the new Pound HD link cable. Well, let's check it out. So here's Maximo. It looks a lot better. Definitely a lot more playable, especially on a new TV. So this is a classic. I think the graphics look a lot better. You be the judge. Again, I'm comparing it against standard composite. Kind of trying to show the same area that I showed with the composite. And it looks a lot better, I think. A lot sharper image. The stretched out screen, as I've mentioned before, it's going to bother some people, and that's a fair complaint. But for most people, you know, that don't have a standard CRT line around for their PS2 games or don't have a backwards compatible PS3, this is a good way to go, especially for $30. Not a bad option. So while there is a few shortcomings of this cable, overall it's an easy way to play your PS2 and PS1 games on a modern day television. Now, it does stretch out your screen. That's annoying. It doesn't do progressive scan on some of the featured games the PS2 can offer. It doesn't do that either, but it's an easy way to play your PS2 and PS1 games with an HDMI cable. It looks great. For those that have a backwards compatible PS3, you can play PS2 and PS1 games. A lot of people don't know that all PS3 consoles play PS1 games. And so that's a nice feature that wasn't heavily advertised, and I still run into people today that say, oh my gosh, really? But this is a great option. It's $30. Links below. You can come check it out, and hopefully this helps. You know, it's another option for people that want to play their classics on modern day televisions. I like these options. I like to have all my retro consoles as much as possible with these options to get the best clarity for the price for their consoles. Thank you so much for people continuing to tune into my humble channel as I march towards 70,000 subs. I'm getting close. And you know, I like doing these reviews, and I have many more videos to come. Come check it out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. This is the Immortal John Hancock. Thank you, and you take care.